Hi everyone. Listen, I'm like all discombobulated over here. I had to hurry up, try to get me something to drink so I could get on here and talk love and marriage DC with y'all guys. I'm so glad to see y'all. Hey Black Swan. Listen, some of y'all are truly hanging out with me and I'm loving it. BB from VA, I love it. I'm glad y'all watching Love and Marriage DC. I'm determined, to hang in there to the bitter end. And let me see, Carol, hi, how you doing? MH. Thank you for being here. You said winter has arrived. Winter has arrived. That song she sung was everything, and she has an amazing voice. But she did a live, and she said she has no interest in like recording or doing anything like that. But she really does have a really, really good voice. Yes, thank you so much, everybody. Don't forget to hit that like button and let's get into it. Usually I'm chatting with y'all forever because I can literally just stay on here with y'all forever. Today, we're going to keep it to 1 hour because I am going to watch The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills tonight. And I will be coming back tomorrow night with my recap of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And let me also add this. Winter has to wait until after the reunion, but Winter will be coming to Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva. She's going to do an interview. She says she does not mind answering questions from the audience. So we're going to have a great time. Winter will be coming here in August. So I'm looking forward to that. If I lock down the date ahead of time, I'll let everybody know. So be tuned in. If you're a Winter fan, she will be in the building in August. I'm super excited about that. So let's talk about this particular episode, right? Thank you. Let's talk about this episode. So the couples are going, hey, Debbie, thanks for stopping by. The couples went on like a little weekend retreat, right? And if I'm not mistaken, I want to say that is one of Chris and Monique's homes. They do well for themselves, even though they got a little bit of issues. I believe that was their home that they went to, like another one of their homes that they went to. So they're going to a little weekend getaway. Everybody is pretty much invited. Monique kind of had to tell the ladies, like, look, or the couples, I'm going to say, look, winter will be coming. Yes, that's their second property. Okay, I thought so. So that's nice. She always does that. She did that on Potomac also. I think there could be another side to Monique, but I think, unfortunately, she doesn't show that side very much. But that's neither here nor there, right? So they go on this weekend trip that Monique and Chris kind of pulled together. They pulled together this couple's weekend trip, and they're telling the couples that, listen, Winter suggested this sex therapist. I had no choice but to, out of courtesy, invite Winter. Winter will not be spending the night. If any of y'all want to back out of this situation, now is the time to do it because she's definitely coming. And then Chris has to drop a bombshell to say, oh no, oh my, I also invited Winter's estranged husband. We're going to call him that because at that moment they were not divorced yet. So he also invited Kevin to the weekend. So you know it was going to be a little bit of drama. So everybody was like, all right, cool. She's not going to spend the night. You know, I guess we can deal with her. And Tasha and her husband Neil is actually going on this weekend also. I don't know what to feel about, you know, Tasha and Neil yet, right? They come to us in very small doses, so I don't know what to think about them just yet. But they go on this little weekend trip. They all kind of get on like a little party bus or whatever to get there. And listen, guys, yes, if you're not a subscriber, I would appreciate it if you subscribe. Don't forget to hit that like button. I'm trying to hit 10,000 subscribers this month, 9,000 this week, and I'm like one away, and then I'll be at 9,000. So thank you so much. I truly do appreciate it. Hey, Nancy, I haven't seen you in a while. Hi, all. Now you know Winter and her husband attending was not a coincidence. Yes, it was not a coincidence, right? So, you know, they were invited. So they get on this party bus, and on the party bus, again, winter is the topic, okay? Everybody's talking about winter, and Jamie is kind of sick of it, and I don't blame him because I'm sick of it too. Now, granted, Winter did make a joke about Erana's husband, Jamie, and she made a joke about DJ Quick. But why are we dragging and dragging and dragging the joke out the entire season? Winter they kind of came for her. The Samuels wanted to create some mess. Yeah, the Samuels wanted to create some mess, but I really think Monique wanted to create mess more than Chris. Chris, you know, was not really that messy. And I think he gets pushed to be a little more vocal and messy because of Monique. I'm sick of it too. Can we move on, please? Exactly. I mean, she said a comment. She apologized for the comment. Okay, why are we still doing this? But they're talking about it on the party bus, right? And so Monique is saying that, you know, going on this trip, she hopes that they all kind of learn from each other. There's going to be some growth. And they talked about this ebook because when Kevin met up with the men, right? When Kevin met up with the men, he said that Winter wrote a book about their love story, right? So it's controversy over this book. This book they're claiming is, you know, he's claiming that's his evidence, right? He's claiming the book is his evidence as to how much Winter was in love with him, so in love with him that she wrote this book about their life story. But we all know when Winter gets there and he arrives, they're saying like, no, this is not true. Chris brought Kevin out on the show 3 times. Yeah, Chris, you know, here's the thing. Guys stick together, right? So the guys were kind of sticking together. And initially, before they got to see more of Kevin, the guys were sticking with the guys, right? Let's see. The thing is, Chris tried to act as if he and Monique wasn't aware both would be there. Yeah, they did. They were being messy with that because you don't talk to your husband. And Monique's not going to say, okay, we're doing this trip. I'm going to invite Winter because Winter suggested this sex therapist. And then he doesn't go, oh, I invited Kevin. They were being messy. It's a mess, but it is what it is. You want to read the book just because of how he acts. Kevin is touched. I use those words, right? Kevin is touched. There's something not right with Kevin. And but you know, it's a mess, right? So exactly, both the Samuels were being messy, but kept saying they're giving folks the heads up. You know what, right? That's how they covered up their messiness, right? We want to tell you ahead of time. If you don't want to go, then you can back out now. But you know, we're going to tell you ahead of time. You're telling them why they're there. Like, really? So we're going to be like, no, we're not coming. That free ebook was messy, okay? I'm lost with Kevin. I'm still not sure what he is supposed to be debunking. None of us are sure, okay? Listen, if your wife wants a divorce, she wants a divorce because you was about to have your wife, hey, Amy J, he was about to have his wife in the whole entire situation, being like some of the housewives, being set up and maybe locked up for some fraud. She ran. Once she found out he was fraudulent, she ran like she was supposed to before she get clink and get herself in some trouble, right? And so initially, DJ Quick was saying that, he believed Kevin, right? I think Kevin is an addict of some sort, and that's what Winter didn't want to say. You know what? I was wondering what Winter was holding back at that table. You are probably right, MH, because he has a different look. I'll say that. He has a different look to him. I couldn't pinpoint it. I couldn't really figure it out. But the look is definitely different. You may be on to something right there. Because she kept saying, you know what it is. I didn't know if she was trying to say, like, she knew that Ashley knew what was going on with her husband, but I get it now. It could be the truth, right? He looks like one. I didn't want to say it, but y'all are correct. He does look like one. Lies and disappearing money. You know what? There you go. The lies. The talking in circles, right? Yeah, all of that. He does appear that way. He does appear that way. Oh my God, you're killing me now. You know what? You hit the nail on the head. I wasn't even thinking that, but you are correct. And I never thought it, but that does make sense. It makes a lot of sense now that you say it. And Winter, she's playing a reality game, but in the same time, I believe she's a class act. So she's not going to just come out and just tell all his business on that TV, just for a dime. And so I think you're right. I think you hit the nail on the head. Right. So this sex therapist arrives, right? Yeah, I think she's protecting him. I think she is too, right? So this sex therapist arrives, and what's with all the reality shows now? Everything has to be about sex, and they're dealing with sex. It's a whole hot mess, right? So he was all over the place, can't answer questions plainly. A hot mess. He's a hot flaming mess, okay? A hot mess. So Winter arrives with the sex therapist. The sex therapist brings some toys. Oh, but you know what? I got to back up. Monique brings bags, again, being messy, right? Because Monique has gift bags for them all. And in the gift bags, because she doesn't want to let it go, and Winter was supposed to be a friend, she has in there fun size candy, to remind everybody that Winter called DJ Quick fun size. She has a red light, because Winter called Jamie red light special. And then she had some other sex toys or whatever in the bag, right? So that was that. Now, the therapist arrives, right? The therapist arrives. She's kind of going around and she's talking to everybody. I'm going to need Erana to fall in love with sex again. She has a husband. She's not that old. So when Erana was talking to the sex therapist, she pretty much, it comes out, I guess, Erana, and listen, I mean, but this is her husband of how many years? Erana she's not really into oral sex. She says that, she needs a little more wooing. She needs a little more romance. And, Jamie said it's almost like they're brother and sister. It's almost like, they're just friends. They're kind of roommates living together. So I'm going to need these two to spice it up. And I think they need more than this sex therapist. I think they need some therapy. I think Erana is not in love with Jamie anymore. It's a high level possibility because there's too much going on. Who doesn't want their husband to touch them? It was interesting, right? They said they have brother and sister sex. I was like, what are we talking about here? What is that? What does that mean? Good for Winter running from Kevin. Wouldn't want her to be a roomie with Jen Shaw. I'm trying to tell you, and it seems now that all the shows have therapy sessions and sex issue discussions. Nessie, I feel the same way. And that's why I'm feeling like all of these reality shows, they're giving us the same thing. I want someone to come along and give us something different. It's time for us to get something different. That was weird and awkward statement from Jamie. It was, but I think that's how Jamie was feeling. Like, we're not getting it in anymore. He said he still, feels highly sexually, like sexual. And it's like Erana has just, going dark when it comes to the sex. Like she's done. Brother and sister sex, slam, bam, thank you, ma'am. Yeah. He got to get it from her however he could get it from her, right? And she needs, and I don't know, I feel like even if he was the romancer, I don't know if she would be into it. She just seems like she's just not that into it anymore. Is she not that into it, or she's just not into Jamie anymore? We're gonna have to keep our eyes open and watch out and figure out what's going on. I wouldn't want that either. All those cheating rumors. Well, he's falling asleep at the red light and all of that nonsense. That could be Monique. That could be the reason why, this, she doesn't want to have this brother sister sex. So, Monique, listen, will Monique ever give Chris a break? Okay. I mean, nothing Chris does, God bless him for hanging in there. I don't know if I can do it. Nothing Chris does is good enough for her, right? So she talks about her and Chris and, their sexual situation. And she pretty much was like, Chris, what did she say about Chris? She felt Monique was another one feeling like they're really not having, she said they have selfish sex. That's what I remember with her, right? They have selfish sex. So whoever gets it off first, bam, we're done and it's over, right? Monique, yeah, she said if we didn't have great sex, we wouldn't be married. Yeah, Monique is messy, right? Because she talks out of two sides of her mouth. She said if we didn't have great sex, we wouldn't be married. But on the flip side, she said we have selfish sex. So how is selfish sex great sex, right? But she said we have selfish sex because whoever gets it off first, then it's over. And then she talks about Valentine's Day and how Valentine's Day was so mind blowing and so amazing. I think Monique too. She's just making stuff up that she think is going to be a good hit for reality TV. And I don't think she realized how it's coming off and coming across to the fans. I know I'm beginning to test Monique, and that little session at the gym was awkward and unreal to me. You know what? See, Nessie, I fell for the okie doke, so to speak, at the gym, right? I felt for them having a connection there. I felt like that was one of their better scenes. But I do get what you're saying. It's like she flip-flops. One minute, they're back on track. And then the next minute, she takes the train off the track. It's like, do you want your man or don't you, girl? Like, it's just too much. In every single sexual section with your husband or your mate, is not going to be this mind-blowing, life-altering situation. If a man said that we be big, if a man said that we be big mad, wait, MH said what? Said what? Remind me what I said that if said what? I think the producers told her to be more fun with him. That's why we got the gin segment. I think it could be true. I think you could be right. Chris isn't being himself because he is dealing with a Bible. She is messy, right? She is messy because when you saw the confessional, he tried to talk and he said, you told me to talk more, but now I'm trying to talk and you don't want me to talk. And the whole time he was talking, she kept doing this, just acting. I can't take Monique. Hey, Nisa. So, no, that was what you just described. The gym scene was for TV. I guess so. Uh-oh, we need somebody else to blink twice. All right, we're going to have to save Chris too. Oh my God, I cannot right now. We're going to have to save Chris. This is crazy. So, that was that. Ashley was kind of pissed at the therapist. She kind of told the therapist off. And then we got Tasha and Neil. So Tasha, she's having sex with her husband, but the back of her mind, she's so afraid to get pregnant. So she's using condoms, and Tasha's little input into the situation was a little crazy too, right? It was just a little off. It was like, all right, Tasha, this is your husband. You don't want to get pregnant. Yeah, you said Tasha need to stop. I'm trying to tell you, I was trying to figure out Tasha. In my head, I started to say, why is she here? What is going on right now with this particular session? Chris says he walk on A shows around Monique. I wouldn't. Yeah, he did say that. and we can see it. It comes across clearly that he walks on eggshells with her. He's another one. He's a different degree of Dr. Damon on the real with Married to Medicine, right? So him, Dr. Damon, they're under control, and the leash is very short. Okay, it's like a maybe I don't even know if it's 3 inches. It's so tight their leash that their wives have on them, and if they make one little mistake or say something that Monique doesn't want to hear or Dr. Heavenly doesn't want to hear, they yank the leash back and like be like, shut up, don't say that. Thank you. Don't forget to hit the like buttons, guys. I know I need to know how many outside kids has her dude have. Are you talking about Tasha? I don't know because they didn't tell, they're not, we don't know too much about them, right? We don't know too much about them. Tasha, speak up. Yes. Yes, a very short lease. It's like extremely short. It's crazy, right? So let me see. Tasha needs to get, well, you know what she does, right? I don't know how long they've been married, and I don't know how many kids they have. If somebody know how many kids they have, let me know. But yeah, why are you scared about kids? Yeah, it was the craziest thing. And he was kind of just sitting there. Then he told the therapist, he was like, you can't help us now, can you? I was like, And then so wait, Arena says she wants intimacy and she wants romance. You know, so we'll see. DJ Quick and Ashley, they didn't really say much. Now, I will say this now. What is her name? Winter. Okay, what do we have here? It would make sense if she wants another this. He was another Nick Cannon. It would, right? We need to know more about their relationship, and they do look like a young couple. So I don't quite know what's going on with them, right? So Winter kind of speaks, and I think, see, here's the problem that I have, right? When it's a couple situation, and especially you having a sex therapist there, right? I think it's always awkward when you have a whole bunch of couples and then you have a single person in the mix. And listen, I like Winter, right? Let's what we say. I saw a clip. Carlos King said she's not working, Tasha. So he's saying Tasha is not working out on the show. I think, see, here's the problem. She's not, right? But I think people get shell shocked. Either you can do this out the gate, or some people, they need another season in order to make it work. And every scene that we seen Tasha in, most of them she was quiet. Once she tried to say a little something, but she's not offering up much. Winter just sitting there and listening was weird. It was weird, right? I think, first of all, the sex therapist could have got to the place without her. She didn't need to be there unless they was going to have Kevin be there at the same time and not them two talk about sex, but those two try to resolve their situation maybe with the sex therapist there. But, a single amongst a group of couples, I don't think it ever worked. But she took the moment to kind of apologize to everybody, tell them that she appreciated them all. And Erana fed into the apology, right? Erana kind of accepted her apology. And I think the reason why Erana was so open to accepting her apology is because Erana knew she messed up, or she was being harsh. She was being a little bit evil when she came at Winter and said, how the ex-husband had a baby with the nanny or the babysitter. So I think that is why Raina was so open to apologizing to Winter and accepting her apology. Tasha and her husband is the longest married couples after really? After Jamie and Erana. Well, you know what? That's interesting. But if that's the case and she's done having kids, instead of you afraid of having sex with your husband, because you fear that a kid is going to come out of the situation, we're not trying to tell her what to do with her uterus or her body or anything, but get your tubes tied and then you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, she looks good. I mean, I would have never imagine that. They're a nice looking couple. So now this time I will give it to Monique. She didn't subject everybody to a vegan dinner, right? So she called in and she had the crab boil, right? So that was good. Babysitters aren't Winter's grown. Babysitter aren't Winter's kids grown. Winter, no, Winter, I think Winter's first husband, not Kevin. So Nessie, Winter's first husband, apparently the way they got divorced was the husband ended up having a baby with the nanny or the babysitter or something like that. Yeah, it was crazy, but we would have never known about that situation had Arena not bring it up. Arena brought it up. So Arena brought it up, and Winter thought it was very low, and I think it was low too. One, because he would have never been a topic for any subject because she was already remarried to Kevin. So that whole situation, like anything she would talk about on the show, could really be about Kevin because she had, a marriage after her husband. So yeah, so it was messy. Arena brought that up, and I think she did feel, she felt some kind of way. She felt like, okay, I shouldn't have brought that up, and she apologized to her. And everybody, I did drop the link in case anybody wants to come up and say anything. The link is out there, and I kind of redropped it too. So that was that when they first got there and they saw the sex therapist. You said Arena was wrong and messy for that. Arena was dead wrong for that. I didn't like that either. I mean, on these reality shows, they got to create some type of drama, but I don't like when they go so below the belt. I think it's really unfair, and I think it's unnecessary. Yeah, affair with the nanny and two outside babies. Yeah. She went through a lot. And I think because she went through a lot, that's why she fell for Kevin, her latest husband, so easily. She probably was trying to ease the pain of everything she went through. But unfortunately, she jumped the broom too quick because Kevin was is a whole hot mess. So they sit down, they have the crab boil, and they're all kind of talking. Apologies came out, but Arena still felt like she had to, come at Winter. Now, let me say this. Winter seems to go live. I just caught her first one last, what was that? When does it come on? On Saturday, right? Winter seems to go live on her IG after the show. And she talked a lot and she couldn't say much, but I will tell you this. She confirmed at the reunion, they are coming for her. They are coming for her. And pretty much she alluded to the fact that even the men are coming for her, which I think is so low down and dirty. You're saying, Nisha, that it was a rebound relationship. Definitely a rebound relationship. She definitely got caught up because they were courting throughout the pandemic, and they were courting via phone. And anybody can get you with the shenanigans when you're courting on the phone. And I think probably, because sometimes, and I'm not saying this is winter because I don't know for sure, right? But sometimes people with their religious beliefs, they're thinking, okay, you know what, we're older. And I'm not saying like winter is like so much older, but you understand what I'm saying? We're older. I love you. You love me. Let's just go ahead and get married. What's the big deal? But, I think before you get married, jump the broom with anybody, you really, really, really have to get to know them. Are you going to be in a situation like winter? Okay. You're really going to be in a situation like winter, and it's going to be a whole hot mess. It's going to be messy, right? So they sit down. It's not a vegan dinner. And here's the thing. Let me tell you something about Monique, right? Monique, I'm about to add you to the conversation. Amy J. Hey, Amy J.
Hey, what's going on, D?
Hey, what's up?
Nothing. In here listening to you.
Yes. So let me throw this in there really quick. With Monique, I understand Monique, she's a vegan, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Listen, we're happy for you, Monique. You look amazing. Your skin looks amazing. You helping your husband trim down. We're not mad at you. But I think the worst thing a person could do is when they like, if I'm a smoker, right? And then I stop smoking, And then now I'm looking at all my smoking friends like they're the worst thing in the world, because I'm like, yo, that's disgusting. Why are you smoking? So, she said in a confessional, she was like, oh, I'm not eating this bottom feeder, shellfish or whatever. Monique, calm down. If you're going to agree to give them a meal that is not vegan and you're going to be around them, let everybody enjoy their meal, not feel bad about it. They'll come around when they come around. When they want to stop eating meat, if they ever want to stop eating meat, they'll get there. But you don't have to shame people. MH, I welcomed you into the building also. But Amy J, what do you want to say so far?
Yeah, I think in Monique's situation, she can be insufferable when it comes to how her opinions. She pushes them all the way down to she wants to make them like the gospel. And
Yes.
that's kind of why it's kind of hard to be, side with her, because sometimes she might say some things that are beneficial, but the vegan thing, that is really a situation where people choose. Like a vegan lifestyle, one, is expensive. Two, it's very a disciplined lifestyle, and some people, because we're used to eating meat. So her kind of like just kind of drilling them, it's just like that's uncomfortable. And these are people that you just met, and she was hosting at one point. So I think she needs to, fall back on that.
Fall back.
Have
Right.
some decency. Be respectful. That's all.
That's it. MH, what do you want to add to this situation?
In regards to the veganism, or just
Just
Monique
in
in
general.
general?
Just in general.
I just think it's Monique's personality, and that's the thing that irks everybody who watches the show, and why Chris is scared all the time. It's because she can never say one thing and let things go. It needs to. I feel like maybe when she was younger, she didn't get the acknowledgement she wanted from people for being smart or intelligent or having deep thoughts, because it's like she's forcing like, we understand, yes, you want to get deeper, yes, you want something more than the surface, yes, you are a vegan now, and it's like everything, every movement up, she's, what do they call it, bougetto, like when you just every, like, instead of taking her enlightenment or her like the fact that she's learnt this new stuff and just helping her family or her community with it, she's like using it as, I'm better than you, and people don't want to hear that all the time.
Right. It's
And
just,
I feel like
yeah.
Ashley's tired. You can tell Ashley's tired of her, because her number one topic is Monique, and she thinks Monique's the best thing walking.
Yeah. She does. And Monique said she didn't sign up to be a housewife. And they're like, huh? What?
She fought to be a housewife. She stole that man from another woman to be a housewife. Let's not play games.
Well, remind the people, I'm trying to tell you, she didn't, she though? Didn't she
She
though?
did.
She
She
sure did.
did. She acted. She came out of her car she was living in and fought to be that man's housewife, an NFL player's housewife. That was her goal. Like, that was her actual living goal at that time. And now, 9 years later, when she's lived the life, she's bored now. Now, what he's giving her is not enough. So, and the fact is, he's not an NFL player anymore. So now she's just got a £300 man sitting in her house every day. She's not happy because she never wanted Chris. She wanted what he could give her.
She wanted the lifestyle, but can I tell you this? I
That's
don't think
it.
it's just because he's not working. I think it's because she got a taste of this reality TV. I think she got a taste of that check. I think now that she's getting more opportunities and she has jobs and she's doing other things, I think now that's why she's being so disrespectful to Chris, because she has other opportunities and because she has things going on for herself. She's being messy.
You know what's interesting?
But you know what?
Oh, sorry. No one interesting.
Go ahead, Mamie.
I'm sorry. You know what's interesting? I noticed, and I'm not saying that it's a pattern, but it seems like all of these all these athletes' wives, when they do decide to do reality TV, it's almost like their exit plan.
Yeah.
Like, you notice, like, if you watch Basketball Wives, is a general like consensus every time the wife comes. Next minute they're having problems, and the next minute they're divorced. It's very rare that like people like Jackie Christie can survive, and I'm saying that because when it comes to Monique, she was an athlete's wife, right? And it seems to me, from what I've watched, it seems like this could be her exit plan. But now, because she has made herself this perfect patty, and kind of like shrug her nose at all the other women on Potomac, she can't necessarily just like leave, but which her plan was, I feel like.
The thing is, one of the things that I like about Chris, he's not giving her the Martell out. Martell was on the show disrespecting Mel. He was being like, he was having these affairs on her. He was doing all of, he had a baby on her. So that was her out, a clear out for her. It was a clean break. But
Yeah.
Chris is showing that he is actively working to improve his marriage. He's out there playing with the kids in the morning. He's out there being daddy at daycare while she's out there working. Like, there's no way that we as the viewers are gonna side with her if she was to leave him. If she chooses to leave him, that's up to her. But it's not gonna be a Mel situation where we stick up for you. No.
Yeah, and I think that's why she's a little more angry with him. I introduced you as this loving husband, but now this is my opportunity to gain the crowd's sympathy, and no one's on my side.
No one. Let me read this. Nessie said Chris hasn't seen anything yet. I agree with you. Now that Mo has that radio job, as soon as she settles into that, she really going to be hell on wheels. Yes, she is.
Exactly.
She is. Lifestyle and status is addictive. People will change behind them. I agree. We see that with the Jen Shaw situation, right? You like this American greed. You that greedy to be known, and for someone to know that they're stealing money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you gonna really go on TV? Are you that delusional? Like, then you're gonna go on TV and you're flaunting it. It just I don't know. It's interesting to me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, but I think with the Jen Shaw thing, that remember they said the feds were after her and it was like a 10-year case and they had pulled her up previously. She had gone to court previously over these same charges. So I think this was her last mayhay. Like, I know I'm going to jail. Let me do what I always wanted, and that's to be a celebrity and get my followers up. That's what I truly believe that. Like, some people are that desperate. She just thought, I'm gonna go to jail either way. I'm living on borrowed time. Let me just go on the show and just show my entire ass on the way out.
Well, she's crazy. Just Jock said, and I believe this, right? Chris appears to be a solid guy. I hope she realized she has a good man. She's never going to realize, because if she don't know that by now, and what we're going to see, the upcoming scenes for next week's episode, again, it's tragic because he's sitting there asking her, if I would have asked you to marry me again, would you say yes? And she pretty much did. Yo, Monique, she's doing a lot.
Okay, I have a thing.
Yes.
So I saw a message that I commented on I think one of your reviews ages ago, and this is when it was brand new, and I still liked Monique, and I thought to myself, why is this woman acting like this towards this man? And at that time, I thought to myself, could it be that while he was playing for the NFL, he treated her like shit? Maybe because he knew she was. Remember, the mum was horrible to her as well. Like his side of his family. So I thought maybe because she was the broke rapper that he picked up from that from her living in her car, maybe he cheated on her. Maybe he used to treat her badly when she was the girlfriend, and when they were early in their relationship. And now it's a karma situation. Now she's like in the limelight. Like, she's the star of the show now. Now she doesn't need him. And now I feel like
MH.
I thought that could be. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I don't think that's what it is, MH. I really feel like a lot of these women that go after these athletes have aspirations of being famous and rich. And they attach themselves to somebody who already has fame, and they use their feminine wiles to maintain a relationship. But at some point in their relationship, they begin to look down on the person who's famous. It's almost as if they're jealous, like, I could do it better than him. He's not that smart. He just did it. And look at all the people worshiping him. And I'm such a smarter person. I can do more business than him. And you see it. I hate to say it. You see it in a lot of people like Aisha Curry and Steph Curry.
Yeah, because Savannah James is like the opposite of her. Yeah. Like, Savannah James, you hardly ever see her out in the spotlight, maybe with her kids or him. But she's not trying to make a career based off his name.
Yes, but then at the same time, she looks at herself as above him. And we all wouldn't be paying attention.
Alicia does. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we wouldn't pay attention to you if it wasn't for this man. And it's like with Chris, we would not really care who Monique is if it wasn't for Chris. So that is what she resents. But at the end of the day, it all started with, I want to be famous. I want to have wealth. And this is the easiest route. Women have been doing it for centuries, building them their identities through their men. But it seems like now she wants to kind of just discard him because now she's gotten what she needed from the situation.
I believe that.
I
So wait,
agree.
hold on 1 second, guys. So Vernie said his mother saw her as a gold digger. The mother saw something. The mother saw something. And when that happened on Potomac, right? Give me 1 second. When that happened on Potomac, I was feeling a kind of way. I was like, okay, his mother being a little bit too harsh to Monique. But now that we see more of Monique, I do really feel and see what the mother probably saw. So wait, Black Swan said Monique is a she double.
No.
Oh my God. For Chris to ask her if she had anything nice to say about him to her friends says a lot. That does say a lot. That was heartbreaking. There was a lot of terrible moments on this Love and Marriage DC for Chris. I mean, but Chris, you know, they did a live. I want to say kind of like maybe 2-3 episodes in. Chris is another one. Monique has Chris wrapped around her fingers. Period. Period. But go ahead. Who was trying to say something?
No, I was just going to reply to Amy, and I think that it's true. Sometimes they do end up resenting them. However, there's plenty of athletes, girlfriends and wives that were with them from the start. They get dumped, or their men are cheating on them, or they're treated horribly. And that's because as soon as the guy gets famous and as soon as he gets a bit of money in his pocket, he thinks he's something different. But when they retire and the ESPN cameras are not on them, now they want to come back to their old baby mama. Now they want to go back to the high school girlfriend.
That's true. And that's the thing about it. It's always the nice guys, people like Chris and Steve Curry, that actually want their wives to win, and their wives see it. Their wives see them as competition. I look at Chris, for him to come on this show, to him to even berate his legacy, to be on reality TV, to make sure Monique has a name and a face. Yeah. He then turns around in this new series after going through all what they went through in Potomac and being lied on, right? And then calling him CTE and all that. He comes on this show to give you your break again. And what do? You emasculate him. Every single scene. Girl, bye. You gotta go.
Every single scene. So wait, Miss Queen in the Mall said Chris Mom was the truth. Remember Chris Mom fake sorry on the show? She was not sorry for that. She was not sorry for telling the truth. Got that heifer together.
Got her together. And that makes me, that's what makes me mad, because there is a lot of men.
Chris stuck up for her. Chris stuck up for her. We were proud of him. We were like, good for you. Stick up for your wife.
Yeah. But my thing is, it makes me mad because there's a lot of men that don't allow, men that have money and fame, that would never allow their wives to have their own identity. You wouldn't even know their names. They would literally just like make them just be baby makers. And I feel like she should really give him the credit that all of us see. He is a good man.
He's a good man. You know why she don't see it? You know why she don't see it? Because she probably never had nobody else. I'm telling you right now, if that chick right there ever divorced him and had to deal with somebody else, first of all, nobody's letting you tap into the bank account on the level that she has tapped into their bank account. Yeah. Remember when she was on Potomac and she did that flop for Not for Lazy Moms, and she didn't even sell a ticket?
And she
was doing the oils. Remember the oils that she was doing?
Yes.
That year, I do remember. She did that after she left Potomac, though, right?
Yeah, but those are all Chris Samuel projects.
Wait, say that again.
All funded by him. Those are all projects funded by
everything is funded by him. He doesn't care. He's so loving. He's so caring. He's so giving.
I feel like Chris Samuels as a truck driver would still be as good of a man as he is now. Like he's the kind of guy, like he would be, as a truck driver, he would be a diamond. He's just got that, family guy, comes home, loves his wife, likes a quiet life, take care of his family, wants to take care of responsibilities, doesn't want to do that, generational curse where the father's not around, so he makes sure he's there. He's just like, what more could you want from someone? And someone who's trying to get better. That's the one thing I like about him the most. Even when she's yapping on at him, he's like, yeah, I want to do better. I want to make you happy. What can I do?
He ain't never gonna be able to please her because she don't really want him. So wait, it's time to vote Monique off the island. Okay, you know what we're gonna have. No one seems to like her, and her mess making is not even entertaining. You know what? It's not. Usually when someone is being messy, at least we're like, yeah, they messy, but they made us laugh and they're kind of making the show.
Yeah.
Her
Dr.
mess
Heavenly.
is not making the show. You are correct, Nessie. It's not making the show.
Yeah, it's just messy and it's bad.
It's messy
Leave
and
it
it's
as
bad.
I think what makes it
we've only
bad
got
is she
15
tries
minutes.
to turn around and act like she's still on the moral high ground of not being messy. Like, girl, you were being messy. It's okay. We know reality TV at this point. Don't pretend that you didn't set this up.
Literally, she set up the
Exactly.
argument between the women and Winter.
She
Now
did.
she's setting up Winter and Kevin to come to her second home. Like, this is all contrived and created by Miss Monique Samuels. Like, let's stop playing games.
Well, let me add to this. Winter, when she did her live and I was watching it, she said pretty much the scene when she talked to Monique. It was like one day, right? That they dragged out. But see, unfortunately, what Winter probably didn't know and understand is they need a storyline. They need something to happen. So no one was going to come after Monique, right? Because of Monique, they're on this show. So they wasn't going to do drama with Monique. And so I guess Ashley and Erana kind of decided they wasn't going to do drama between the two of them. So who is only one left? The person that really doesn't have a husband on the show is Winter. So Winter gave them some ammunition though, right? When she called them DJ Fun Size and Red Light. So they took and ran with that and they just dragged it out for the whole show. Because the only reason for the other two ladies to be mad at Winter is because of that comment, right? But I'm almost afraid to even see. I knew they was going to come for her at the reunion, but the way she talked about it, she said it was bad. It was bad. Even the men came for her. Even the men came for her. And that's highly disrespectful.
Yes. That's a good, thank you, Sharon. You like them. Maybe she should focus on oils instead of reality TV.
Maybe she should. Maybe she should.
But I do remember them saying that her ventures have never made money.
Well, see, again, right? And listen, I'm all for couples. You're supposed to support each other, right? And you never know what venture might take off. But she's so spoiled rotten because Chris would never tell her no. She can just start whatever she wants. She can start a tissue business and it could fail and she could have lost millions of dollars. And Chris is just going to be like, okay. Like, Chris, he got to put his foot down. Yeah, every now and then. Listen, and I had dated like men and just, so kind to me, so sweet. But at some point they do man up and they be like, okay, no, that's it. Like, enough. Like, they put their foot down. You do every now and then because, some people will keep pushing and pushing. They don't know when to stop. Every now and then you got to put your foot down, even if you don't mean it, and say enough. So, so the person just don't keep taking advantage of you.
Exactly. I have to agree. I don't know when she's, as I said, I don't know why she thought she was going to try. Hold on. Let's just say a storyline for Mo will be if you try. Oh, okay. Where's the trainer?
And listen, let me tell you something. The high level word on the street is that story was 100% true.
No way.
I'm going to say I'm leaning towards why. Yes, it was 100% true because she got so mad about that rumor and she channeled her energy to the wrong person. She channeled it to Candace. Because again, I think all of them, they pick on the person that they know is not really going to come at their neck, right? So it was easier for her to come at Candace. But at the end of the day, who she should have came at was Giselle. But she
Giselle.
knows she wouldn't have got that off. She wouldn't have got that off.
No, because Giselle's taking orders from the producers. So when producers tell her to do something, she does it. So if you go after Giselle, you're going after producers. So the easiest target was Candace.
Right.
Candace is yappy.
But I feel like Candace and Wendy that season made themselves a target because they aligned themselves with the Green-Eyed Bandits. And nobody told them. And now Wendy's crying this season. Wendy's crying, Candice is crying, and it's like, who told you when there was a chance to have two different teams? And the thing I don't like about Potomac the most is the fact that there's two of them. Why do we have two women that are that close friends that are always going to back each other? That means that nobody's ever going to have a real chance to go at them one-on-one, is because they will always have each other's back. And
but here's the thing is, you don't need to go out there one-on-one. If you are true, if you can stand in your spot, you can come and shut both of them down. To be honest with you, but see, they wasn't giving her any life. Wendy, he came for Giselle and Robin, right? But you know how they say, if you don't add fuel to the fire, it's going to eventually die out. Every time Wendy came at their neck, they wouldn't even really come back at her. So they wasn't giving it any life. And that's why everything Wendy did kind of fell flat. Because
I feel like
go ahead.
I feel like what happened was with Wendy is that she knew this was coming. So the season before, it was our friend Monique, and then she was gonna get it, because you remember there was that fake blog that was creating up stories on behalf of the Green-Eyed Bandits. So she knew this story. She knew it was false, and she knew that these stories were going around. So what happened is, I think during the season that when Wendy had that read for them, it was a rehearsed read, and she got it spot on. Like she dragged them when they were in that little vacation spot. She did that well. But I don't think it's her nature to be spontaneously able to read somebody on the spot. So in the reunion, she couldn't do it. Like, she couldn't replicate that one read multiple times.
So wait, let me jump in for a second. Let's get back for 1 second, because Kevin enters the building, right? Kevin comes, he comes with his briefcase of nonsense, he comes with his side talking, he comes with his messiness. And I think what Kevin thinks is, Kevin feels like if he tells everybody how much he still loves Winter and wants to be in this marriage, that, it's going to, like, I don't know. I don't know. It's a fantasy for him, right?
No, it would be like, why would he scam him? No, it would be like, why would somebody who loves her so much scam her? It's less realistic that he's a scammer if he's in love with her.
Right. I had men that I had to stop even saying I like something because they would buy it, and the majority are only friends. Yeah, you know what? So see, that's the thing though too, right? A woman knows, like Monique knows, that she has her husband wrapped around her finger, and she's taking advantage of her own husband, and literally she's punking him on TV. I just would never do that to my man. I would never do that to my husband. I couldn't and wouldn't want $1 that bad. She's being messy. But, Kevin enters into the building. He's talking about he still loves Winter. He has this briefcase of mess that doesn't even mean anything. It was almost like the non-receipts that Wendy had at the reunion, saying she had something and it amounted to nothing. Kevin's showing this ebook for the second time. It's supposed to prove something. Listen, let's say Winter did write the story. What does it matter now? I found out you was a scam artist. The day I wrote that story, I thought we had true love. 2 seconds later, when the feds was knocking on my door and serving us papers because of you, and I found out who you truly were. So let me take a match and light it to that stupid ebook. It doesn't mean anything. What are you talking about, Kevin? And every time they try to ask Kevin a question, he sidestepped. He spun around in circles. He made you dizzy. He was a whole hot mess.
Yes, you said it all.
Yeah,
Kevin, I don't know where he came from or why he showed up, but it was good for television. Because there was
Yes,
not
it was.
one thing that came out his mouth that I believed. It was nothing. He looked like a scammer because he's wearing, what is that?
That jean jacket.
It was stonewashed.
It was like
He's stonewashed since the 80s. I was like, this man
Oh my God.
complete delusional liar. I have never seen somebody go to that extreme to prove that they're a liar. He pulling out papers and papers and papers, and it just kept going back to, Kevin, you are lying. You clearly misrepresented yourself. You told a lie. And now because it's on television, you're trying to save your image, but it is what it is. You were a thief. You tricked this woman into marrying you. And when she found out she was a thief, she did what was right. She got out of the situation.
Yes, she did.
Still,
Yeah,
somebody
said the tumble dry king.
Yeah, I felt like he was a defeated addict. Like in a defeated addict. You know when you come to the family reunion and you're just defeated and everybody in the family is calling you every type of name. You stole from mama, you did this, you did that. Like he just looked defeated. He just looked so sad. And he was like his brain cells had been jumbled up, so he didn't know what he was saying, but he had, those, 5 things that every crackhead has from their old life. Like that was what was in his bag, and he was just dragging that around with him. It was just sad.
Oh God.
Canelo, you need to come up here and say you better sign them papers. That was hilarious. That was her moment. When first of all, and he was like, Winter, I haven't seen you, and Mom said, pretty much I love you. He need to stop. He was the most obvious liar I ever seen. Yes, he was. But Winter, she stole the scene. She pulled it together. She started singing and, wouldn't even let him talk, and told him to sign the papers. But before that even happened, let me say this. When Ashley said, I don't even like Winter, and I still don't believe him, he's a liar, then it's problematic because the whole time she couldn't stand Winter, okay? But when he came through the door, she was like, no, he is a scammer. Monique is disrespecting to her husband because she doesn't love Chris. So sad. Money changes people. It's very sad. Money does change people. But Winter said, listen, sign the papers and give me my divorce. And then when she said, somebody give this man a pen, I was done. I was done.
You guys
actually joined in the singing. Yes, she did. Okay. Yes, that song. He always looks like he's sweating. You know what, Black Swan? I don't know who said it. MHJ or somebody else. I'm leaning towards he has some problem.
Addiction problems.
Yeah, I do. I'm leaning towards that now.
Problem. That type of money.
Right.
Because where's his money? Because somebody said that Winter probably married him. After her last husband embarrassed her with the nanny and the 2 outside babies, she went to the show. I can still bag a quality guy. But I'm thinking, so she thought that because he paid for the NFL, he still had money. But I think he smoked his whole, like, how they say most NFL guys go broke within 2 years of leaving the NFL. This is what's Chris Samuels was, she said about his investment portfolios. I believe it because they say that most of them go broke. And I feel like with this guy, he's gone broke based on his issues. And once she realized that he has these issues, I think one of the reasons why she's also protecting him is that she knew she brought this addict into her children's life based on the fact that she wanted security for herself going forward as an older woman, thinking I might not be able to get a catch. Huh?
Yeah. Go ahead, Amy J.
That always happens when you're a woman and you're lonely and you have the success and your kids are getting older. You start to wonder what it will be like, back in a relationship. But the thing is, people can smell vulnerability. Especially men.
Yes.
They can smell the vulnerability. They just start shooting game and they take advantage.
Yes.
So many episodes on Snap and the 48 hours. ID channel starts with a woman being lonely and getting in a relationship, and the guy flips like 4 or 5 years later.
That is men's superpower, right? And that is why I think people should always take to me, a year, listen, everybody got to do what they want to do, right? But take a year to get yourself together, especially if you was in a long-term relationship. I'm not saying if you had a couple months and then you and that person didn't work out. Hey, keep on dating, do what you got to do, right? But when you have kids, you got to think differently. When you was in a long-term relationship and you got out, before you get with somebody else, you need to think differently. And in addition to that, when you had such a traumatic breakup where your husband actually got the nanny who was in your home pregnant, that's a bit much. You
Yeah.
need to take
And
a
2
minute.
outside other babies.
Right. Yeah,
Be
he had
safe.
other babies. Yes. Thank you, Ty.
No,
Yes.
this,
So he looks like an addict. Yeah, he looks like he's addicted to something. Somebody saying looks a little crackish.
I
Yeah, I
told you,
couldn't
Jay.
pinpoint it. But yes, I'm agreeing with y'all. Something is not right with him. And Winter knows it. But respectfully, she's respecting him and not trying to drag him all the way. She's not trying to Monique him. Let's do
Yeah.
that.
To the
She's not
white
trying to
meat. Yeah.
Monique him, okay? She's not
Yes.
trying to have all his business out in the street and have him looking like a total
You
fool
know why? She
on the
actually cares
TV.
about her kids. Because I want to know how Monique thinks that her kids are going to look at her when they see the way that she's been dealing with their father on TV. Like, does she not think about this? Her kids are a few years away from being teenagers.
I don't think
yeah.
Monique cares, and I don't think Monique thinks about anybody but herself.
Yeah, Monique purposely is doing it while they're young, so she can already have them transition while they're in their mid ages. I think Monique is very strategic. I think she's very calculated, like a lot of people said, and she's moving at a rapid speed because she feels like she doesn't have enough time or this window is going to close. So even if this show doesn't survive, I feel like within 5 years they will be divorced. That's what I can see. Especially if the show doesn't survive. She's going to get out of that situation to go on and live the life that she's always wanted to live.
Amy J, you know what, I'm leaning towards you 100%, but I'm gonna tell you this, just like what is his name? Martell is regretting on a very high level.
Thank you.
What he did to Melanie. I promise you that Monique is gonna have problems. What she don't know is that what those guys like that, they don't come a dime a dozen. Like they're not easy to come by. He really is a good man. He loves his kids. He anything Monique wants him to do, he will pretty much do it. And you don't never come home and the lights are off. Your mortgage wasn't paid. Like, girl, do you realize you are with a gold mine right there?
You have to think about what Monique thinks she is. After coming off of Potomac and how much fan admiration she received, in her mind, she is the next Beyonce.
But Amy, she wasn't a fan favorite. Everybody.
But I'm saying, like, the way you showed her so much support. That is the reason why
the support came from the fact that she was going after the Green Eyed Bandits and we didn't like them. It wasn't anything. Monique was never fan favorite before that.
But let me say this though, MH. But let me say this, MH. Where Monique got it twisted was with that fight, the fans were split, and they wasn't really split down the middle. A lot of people was siding with Monique, acting as if everything she did in that fight, she was justified, and people wanted Candace gone because of her mouth. So Monique got it in her head that, the fans love me, and no matter what I do, they're going to support me. And see, Monique was taunting the bear because that first song she made out the door, it was making a mockery of the fight. And let's be clear. Violence is violence, and Monique was wrong. Even if you want to say they both were wrong, but that's what got it twisted up in Monique's mind. But she found out when she left Potomac, all of her little ventures, all of her fans, and all these people she thought was on her side, they wasn't supporting the shenanigans.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like, in her mind, she's bigger than Nene Leakes at this point.
I'm talking about Nene. Look at how Nene was. She thought she was. Remember, after the first couple of seasons, she got a bit of fame, and she left Greg thinking that the grass was greener on the other side. Yes. Greg was a good man. Gad was at home looking after her son while she was out in LA. And what did she do? She ended up coming back to him because she realized what's out there is not what she really needs in her life.
But that's
like
I do not disagree with anything that you and Diva are saying, but I'm saying what I see with Monique, because mine, she is the Nene Leakes of Potomac. She feels like she is above and beyond, and she has so much like admiration. She can do that. But I'm saying, yeah, you're right.
She's delusional about herself. She is. So no Jamaica, you said hi Diva sidebar. Heavenly did a review. She did review the show and went in again on Contessa. She don't get it. I'm just trying to tell you because y'all all said on Sherelle that she stopped talking. Thank you. I will when I go, I'll try to peek at it. I will try to look at it. Huh?
She was very upset. Heavenly.
Who? Dr. Heavenly?
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
You're gonna side with her. I can't wait until our review next week.
Oh yeah. Oh, next week is going to be a mess because they're doing this intervention on her. She kind of didn't know what's happening, right? But the point we was really trying to make, it was me, AT2, right? The point we was trying to make is that's like us right here, right? Let's take it just Amy J and MH and me, right? And we're doing our little commentary here, like we're doing this, right? And then that's like me doing right as soon as this is done, I go do another show and I'm saying, Amy J was a mess, and so was MH. Who does that?
Yeah.
Can I say something? Can I have my rebuttal to this? Because in reality, if I think, I love Diva's my girl, let her go and create some mess. Like, if I'm happy knowing, let her get her numbers up, let her get her clicks. Like, let her talk a little bit of mess about me, but I know she's not going to wipe me. Like, she knows my real life. She's not really talking about my real life. She's talking about surface stuff it's already out in the public. Let her get her likes and let her get her clicks up. If I felt like that, I would come back to your show, Diva. However, if I felt like how Contessa is pretending to feel like, I would never go on your show. However, Contessa's come on Dr. Heavenly's show, and this is before and after she's spoken about her. So if I felt like the first instance, the way I described, I would go on your show. But the way that she's acting now that, she's used information that was off the show against me and this. No, if you felt some type of way, you should never have gone on her show because she's been talking about.
You know what I'm gonna do, MH? I'm gonna dig a little deeper. I'm gonna going to see if I can speak to Dr. Contessa because I want more info. I will say this, though. Let me tell you this. What we're not going to do is, what we're not going to do. I don't care what's going on between me and my man. You ever have a conversation with one of your girlfriends, right? And you and your man, you're going through it at the moment and you pissed at him and you call your girlfriend up in the moment of your pistivity and you like, yo, he get on my nerves, he make me sick, I can't stand him, I'm leaving, I'm gonna kick him out, blah, 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 whatever. And then the next section, y'all good. Okay, you and your man is good. You don't want your girlfriend, the next phone call, to be talking about your man. I called you in a moment of distress. Me and him good now. You understand? So what you're not going to do is, get on your YouTube channel and talk about me and my man and we supposed to be friends. I learned this.
Like, Diva, it's like you putting that you coming on the group chat with me, Amy, the gang, like all of us girlfriends, and venting to us, and then being angry when we discuss your issue between us. But you're the one who's put it out there. Contessa put her issues with her husband on national TV. She gave it to the world. Said, this is what's going on. I'm being abused. Oh, he's shouting at me. Oh, I'm doing this. I need to move out. I don't feel safe. She did all of this without Heavenly ever clicking onto her YouTube account. So the thing
and she was venting. Thank you, Nisa. Thank you. Right, I needed to vent in the moment. So she was venting. But Dr. Contessa was venting on the show. Dr. Heavenly, you don't need to continue my situation. Keep my name out your mouth.
Here's the reality of the situation. Heavenly, I've said it before, she has a mean streak with her, and even though people pokes it with she's keeping it real, I get keeping it real, but there is a point within your friendships you have to protect them.
Yes,
you have to protect them, and Heavenly shows that they don't mean anything when she goes on her platform.
I feel like she has been protecting them.
No, because I've
The
seen
way,
What's the most out of
go
pocket
ahead.
she's ever said? She calls Toya lazy, and she's smart. She's a lazy woman that married up, and that she married him because she didn't want to work. Like she said that on the show. She's happy to say that.
yeah, but,
She said
but her and Toya really friends. Let's be honest.
they're not. That's
Co-workers.
true.
They're co-workers.
Yeah.
I've never seen her dig into Jackie the way she digs into Contessa and the rest of them. And that's my thing is this: is having
Oh,
honest with yourself. You
you
take
know who she used to dig on? Her husband. Do you remember when her husband cheated on her? On
Curtis.
Jackie?
Yeah,
Yeah, she used to go in on Curtis.
even Jackie gave her a look like stop, and heavily
Yeah.
understands when she's gone too far. But it's
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
Yes, she does. And she tries to play it off like, oh, did I say that? Oh, did I run my mouth too much? And then in confession, oh, can you cut that out? I mean,
Yeah.
you can make your money, but don't go gutter low. Because like I
Mm.
said, remember when who was it that alluded to it was Mariah. She almost lost her mind when Mariah was talking about daddy. So
Oh
you
my
don't like the
god.
way it feels when it comes to you. So don't go that low with anybody else, even if they did say it. I'm like
But
Speed Diva,
Daddy's
when
a
I was
good man.
married, yeah. Speed Diva, when I was married, I learned to keep our quarrels to myself. You know what, Ty? 100. With
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people, you have to, right? But I have learned in life, like I let my girlfriends vent. And when they finish vetting, is a done deal with me. I'm not repeating it to nobody. I don't even have to remember it. I know they need a moment. You need a moment sometimes because you human. It's like you had enough. Because listen, I always tell people your feelings need a home, right?
yeah.
But unfortunately, you can only give those feelings a home to a person that you trust on a very high level. Because some people they misuse your information that you're telling them when you're having a vulnerable moment. And although a lot about contestant marriage played out on the show, she didn't have to go like she is just an average blogger. And when I say an average blogger, we're not on a reality show.
Yeah.
So the only thing I can talk about is what they see. I can't talk about the footage that they cut because I wasn't there for it. Heavenly is there for everything. Heavenly has these people personal phone number and you're talking to them personally. You don't do that. You're being grimy. And Heavenly can do her show,
Mm-hmm.
and there's plenty of reality shows that she can recap and she cannot touch her own show. I would say, listen, guys, I'm not recapping my own show. It's not fair to my people that I work with. I'll answer questions, but if you ask me questions, it got to be about me. The ones I want to answer, I'm gonna answer. Other stuff, I'm gonna let you see it play out on the show, and then after the reunion, maybe I'll come on after reunion and say something about that. But I'm not gonna tell their intimate, personal details. She came at Dr. Simone's marriage, talking about, her husband used to booty. She talked about Curtis. And my thing is, both of these ladies, this is at the end of the day, this is still their life. This is still their marriage, right? So you're coming at their marriage and they got back together with their husband. Don't do that, Heavenly.
I think that's
But
a
I
very
also feel
good
like Heavenly, Heavenly, okay, that's the truth. But Heavenly doesn't make them come on her show. Why do each and every one of these housewives that are on the show with her, why have they all come on her show then? This is the thing I don't understand. Why has Toya, she's talked the craziest mess about Toya. I'm not even going to say anything. Like, that's true. She's called her all sorts of names on the show. She's come on her show. Like, Anila's come on the show. Like, they've all come on her
I
show to
think here's
promote
the
their
thing.
ventures. So why are if you're so upset? This is the one thing I don't understand, and it speaks to my character and how I am. If I felt like you were going out of bounds when it came out, like away from reality TV, and I felt like you were going gutter low with me, there's no way I would ever promote your act. Like, why would I come on your YouTube channel and give you likes and clicks? Why would I do that if I'm not upset? But if I believe
Well,
it's
you
part
know
of the
what,
game,
MH, I agree with you, but right, you know what? I'm a research this thing. You are correct, but I think what happens to all of these reality stars, like they get over stuff but then they get back in their feelings when it's playing out for the world, and then we're all talking about it, and they're like, wait a minute, she did try to punk me. She did try to punk me, so now I gotta punk for
Dr.
her.
Heavenly said
This is the one thing that I would
Dr.
say.
Heavenly said Contessa's came to her daughter's birthday weeks before they started filming. How does that make sense?
Well, here's the thing.
It
That
doesn't, but go ahead, Amy J. Let's hear what Amy J has to say. Go ahead.
I differ with Diva. I don't see anything wrong with them going to her platform. I don't see anything wrong with her dragging them. My thing is, I think you should be prepared for this intervention.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
And
I agree with that. I think that she should be prepared for that.
But this is
hold on, MH. Hold on, MH. Go ahead, Amy.
It's entertaining to see her do these things, and everyone, she has fans for it. But my thing is, be ready for what's gonna happen, because they can turn you into a storyline, because it's all the way down to a part of your character. People see you as the truth teller, so you should be able to take it when they come for you. And that's what I agree. See. My thing is, I'm ready to see her in her intervention and how she handles it. If she balls up and start crying and acting like I'm gonna have a problem with it.
I'm gonna have a problem with it too.
So I don't care I came on your platform. I don't care if I rag my husband out. Now I'm gonna rag you and your peoples out, and you better understand it, because that's what us.
Right. I agree.
We keep it real.
Right. Okay. Right. So Black Swan said, did you notice Dr. Damon's facial expressions when they were saying he and Heavenly have a perfect marriage? Yes, I did.
Listen,
yes, I did.
Man,
yes, I did.
I told you.
Yes, I did. And let me tell you this: if a bomb ever drops about those two, again, like you're saying, Amy J, she better stand up and handle it. She better be able to take the heat.
About Wendy Williams. Wendy spends all day bragging people, and when people came for her family, she loses her mind. She's crying. She's drunk. She's all. My thing is this: if you can dish it, you should be able to.
No, I agree.
You should. So wait, yet you said, but what truth are they telling? Who are you talking about?
She's mean spirited. She talked about what you said about Heavenly. Heavenly can be mean. She is mean.
No, she's mean.
I agree.
She's mean. She's mean. I mean, I get it. She is good for reality TV. She's entertaining. But she's definitely very mean spirited. Contessa needs to either go get a divorce or be quiet and stop sharing her business. Oh my.
Let's get back to the first topic. We're talking about marriage, love and marriage DC.
I know. Wait, they said Bravo has Black Uncle Tom's. Candy speak on it, and Heavenly blog. No one else has a platform. Okay, I don't know.
Who said that?
I don't know. Heavenly is very insecure. I feel that way. She's still dealing with old issues that goes back before she lost her weight, and she's suppressing those issues. And this is how it's showing up. You know what, Eugene? Thank you. I do agree with that. She got issues.
In regards to her relationships with Daddy?
This just in general, because listen, here's the thing too. Why can't your husband have a female friend? He doesn't have female co-workers. Huh?
Why would you want your husband to have female friends?
Listen, I wouldn't care. Listen, if a man's going to cheat, let me tell you something. If a man's going to cheat, he's going to cheat, whether he got a female friend or not. Now, I don't want him to have a female friend like Dr. Simone's husband had, like Cecil had. You don't need no 20-year-old friend that's talking to you and pretty much trying to tell you to leave me. Nah, but can you have a female friend? Yeah, you can. Hello, I'm new here, straight from Tennessee. Hey. I truly admire you and how you engage your audience in the conversation. I see you on Sherelle and Perry's channel. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by. Let me tell you this. This is true story. So I have two girlfriends. Well, a lot of my girlfriends is over 20 years in my life. But my one girlfriend, her daughter and my son are literally, her daughter was born in February, my son was born in July, right? And they're like brother and sister, those two. But she's been in my life for that long. And her and my son's father, he passed away. But anyway, her and my son's father like they was close, and half the time, like, you know, I'd be like, here, talk to him, ask him, whatever. I really don't care if my man has a female friend. The problem is, if someone's going to cheat, in my opinion, they're going to cheat. I ain't going to stop. I ain't going to be able to stop them. So either I trust you or I don't. Now, what you and that female friend do, now that's a whole nother story, right? And I also feel me, for my friends that were my male friends before they got with their wives or their girlfriends or whatever, I don't know. Once you have a woman, I'm not calling you like that. I'm going to speak to your girl or your woman. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's who I'm getting close to now, and we all can be friends. Right. But most of my conversation now is happening with your girl.
Yeah,
that's how I do it.
You have friends of the opposite sex that are both your friends. Like, you know, all of the guys that I know, you guys can kick it, and I can be friendly with all the female friends that you had before that you felt that were of value that you've carried on. However, I don't feel like anything that Dr. Heavenly does that's so unusual. A lot of women don't like their men to have like women. I feel like she does it for, you know, it's their stick. Like, their stick is that she's overbearing. Oh, daddy's some prize. Everybody knows Dr. Damon. As much of it, he's a lovely guy, but he's no prize. Like, he's no Idris Elba. Women are not breaking down the door, like, trying to get at Dr. Damon. Like, it's a stick. Like, she acts like he's the hot stuff. Like, it makes him feel good. You know, warm and fuzzy. We laugh at them. You know, silly middle-aged couple laughing at. Like, nobody takes them seriously. Like,
Thank you for subscribing. So you know, you gotta trust your mate. If you don't have trust, what do you have? Right? If you can't trust your husband or your wife or whatever, it's like, where do you go from there? What do you have? And listen, I'm not that chick. I'm not digging up in your phone. I'm not following you around. The truth will always surface. The truth will always surface. And when the truth surfaces, I'm going to deal with the truth, and I'm going to deal with the facts. But I'm not going to be wasting my time and giving myself no headache and driving myself crazy trying to follow, look in your phone, see who you're talking to, what you're doing. Either you respect me or you don't. I like men like Chris, right? Because you know for a fact, I would be shocked if I ever heard that Chris was cheating on Monique, right? I would be shocked. So I like men like that. Like, you like your life, you like your wife, you just want to live your life and be happy and be in your home, and you go out when you go out. That's the type of men that I like, and I like to try to connect with. Somebody that knows what they got at home, you know, and they're happy. Like, I don't want to, I don't want to do the crazy, but don't do daddy. Listen, but yeah,
listen, he ain't no Idris Elba. Let's not lie to Nino.
I know, right? I know.
But Heavenly said that about, I think she was saying, "Oh, you pick Martell or Dr. Damon." I was like, girl, listen,
girl. Yeah,
to be honest, I like Dr. Damon's character, but just don't do this. Oh, who better? No, we're not doing that.
Right. It's not necessary, and I'm sorry, Daddy's not going to win. Okay, Daddy's not going to win. Right? Yeah. Listen, Ty said that part. It's too exhausting, Ella. I ain't stalking my man. I ain't stalking my man either. Listen, if you want to be here, you're gonna be here. If you don't want to be here, then go where you think is better. I mean, I can't do this with you right now, right? So, listen, guys, it was a good episode. I think that Winter made it with her song, sign these papers. Whatever she was singing, I enjoyed it. She has a beautiful voice, a really nice voice. It's a shame that they had to use Winter as the sacrificial lamb for a storyline, but that's the price you pay, and that's what happens on these reality shows. She also confirmed when she did her IG that when you sign these contracts, you sign away your life. They have the right to cut up and edit whichever way they see fit. So she knew that, and she also said that she would not go back on unless she had an ally, right? So she said that Tasha, that Tasha pretty much didn't even get a chance to even side with her, and everybody on the show was pretty much against her.
I
And
think,
go ahead.
I think this would be a great opportunity for Andy to steal her and bring her to Potomac. Because at the end of the day, Winter is good TV. And she can be in a different
She
group
is.
and have people treat her fairly. What Monique did was use her friend for
Yes, she did.
No,
and
but I remember
Winter has way more to add. That's all I'm saying.
they did do
Yeah.
an interview beforehand. They when Kevin and Winter were supposed to come on as a couple. Remember, there's only three couples. They were supposed to have four couples, and Kevin and Winter were supposed to come on before. You know, because they did this test pilot a while back. So they were supposed to have four couples, and she was supposed to be one of them. The thing that happened is that in between them starting filming for this show, for the actual show and the pilot, they had broken up, and that's what created this.
Mm.
So it just so happened that in that duration that their relationship broke down. But you know they do, you know those pilot things where they interview the couple and
Mhm.
they seem lovey-dovey, holding each other, Winter and Kevin. Like they seem like they were really in love. So it's really odd like to come to the season. If you look at the season how they are, she couldn't stand next to him. It was almost
I
like she was
saw that
scared of him.
video. I saw that video. They were in love, but when the feds knock on my door, my heart stopped. That's it. I ain't no more love because I'm not getting clink clink. I'm not doing time in the federal prison, the jail, nowhere. No, 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 no. He stole that money. You take him, and I'll be a witness for you. But no, I'm not going to nobody's jail. We ain't doing that. Love don't go that far for me.
No,
And it depending upon what you did, I might write you. I may put the first $24 on your book. But after that, we done. We done. Good riddance,
He was
goodbye. And
scared to
matter of
have
fact, I'm
him
gonna
next
mail
to
the
her.
papers to the jail, sign my papers,
Mm-mm.
and somebody give him a pen so he can sign, and that's it. I'm done. So, guys, we're gonna close out here. It was a good episode. You know, I'm gonna be back next week with my recap on all of these shows.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be back tomorrow with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But before we
I'm
go
gonna
out,
go
you
watch
know how
that.
we do here. Amy J, what are your last words on this particular episode, Love and Marriage DC?
I'm ready for the season to end. I don't know what they're going to do, but they need to reboot it and discontinue the Monique and Chris Samuels couple. That's all I can say.
100%, 100%. But let me ask you this: will you watch without Monique being on there? Would you
I
watch
think they need a
Ashley and
total.
DJ Quick?
I think I need a total reboot. They can bring back the Quicks, but when it comes to Jamie and Raina, just bring back Raina as a friend of, and break the Quicks, the main couple, and bring in three new couples, and
I
then
heard.
see what happens. But other than that, I don't want to watch them. I don't want to see what we saw this year for next season.
Yeah, I'm done with it. But you know what though? Like I said, the reunion is going to be on fire because they're all coming for her. MH, what are your final words?
I kind of agree. I feel like we were the biggest problem is the three couples at the beginning. It's not enough. I feel like it worked for Huntsville because two of them were brothers, and Martell and Mel were enough. Like they were a show in themselves. But we
Mm-hmm.
needed a few more. I think we needed at least six couples to follow. I think Monique and I just don't see them kicking them off in the second season. So they can stay for the second season, but we can slowly phase them out. But I also like I'm sorry, but I really like Jamie. I don't like Jamie the dad. No, sorry, Jamie the husband, but I like Jamie the dad. I like the older kids. Like I like having older kids and younger kids. Like those family dynamics. I love the blind son, special needs son. I like that dynamic. I like to see that. I want to see the wayward son and how he's still in the streets for no reason, getting caught up. Like like that. I feel like
Be
they are an
Brad.
entertaining family, but we're just focused on their relationship because Monique and her husband don't have anything else to bring to the table, so we have to keep doing the couple scenes, and it's irritating. But I feel like they have a good family dynamic that I'm interested in.
Yeah. You know what I think with Monique? I think if she would allow Chris to be himself, we may get a different show, right?
Mm.
Ty, yes, I do. Is running on the banner there. Is running on the banner there. Is dollar sign Gray Diva. Um, I believe that if Monique would let Chris be himself, it would be a whole different ball game. Do you know what I mean? Like we would get to
Mm.
see a different side of Chris, and maybe we'll actually get a show. But she's so controlling of him. Because literally, when he was in the confessional and he pretty much was like, well, let me speak, let me say something. You told me to talk up. And like I said, I thought it was so disrespectful. Yes. Oh
Imagine I did
my
that when you were talking all day,
God.
Diva.
That was terrible, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was like, yo, you're not even letting her speak. Like, it's just, it's cringeworthy to watch. I'm not loving her. I'm not liking it. She's messy and it's so messed up. But I'm going to watch it to the end to see how this goes. I'm going to watch the reunion. And like I said, I want to say it's August the 9th. Winter will be in the building. So we will see. We will chat with her. And she also says she doesn't mind answering questions from the chat. So it's going to be fun.
I'm about to go to Lipstick Valley and find out all the dirt.
All right, guys. Listen, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I'll see you on the next video. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. And thank you guys. See you tomorrow night for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
ladies.